So you want to go from that to that. I can help you with that. Hi, I'm Jules, and I am a cosplayer and original character creator, and I am looking forward to sharing with you guys some of the resources and tricks that I've learned over the last 2.5 years. I am in no way funded, I am in no way a professional, but I've been asked a lot of questions, so hopefully today's tutorial can address some of the questions you guys have. If you like what you're seeing, if you're hoping for more, please like and subscribe. You guys know the drill, and let's get started. A great deal of the stylization that I do is not based around glamour. So that means that when I do my drag, I try to make it look realistic. I do want to fool the eye. A lot of this is done with makeup, a lot of this is done with lighting. At the moment, I have a lot of lights set up. So the first thing that if you are doing camera work, and if you are doing any sort of filming or photography, the first thing you want to invest in is honestly really good lights, and they don't have to be expensive. I have a ring light set up at my 10 o'clock, and I have a floodlight set up at my 5 o'clock. The floodlight is just one that I purchased as a double pack off of Amazon, and the ring light is one purchased from Walmart. They don't need to be expensive at all, because in the end, you're going to take this lighting and you are going to be angling it onto your body, onto your face, to create angles that perhaps makeup cannot. Does this mean that you have to have great lighting? No, because maybe you're going out to a con, maybe you are performing live. Then you're going to be relying on a lot of your makeup and a lot of pieces that you invest in to make the look authentic. Many of my nice pieces were investments, but a lot of my makeup, all of my makeup, are just things that I've purchased from big box stores. The next key and the next big question everybody asks is, where do they go? Let me tell you, number one, do not use tape. Please, I beg of you, do not go get duct tape or packing tape or plastic wrap or anything like that and bind yourself. Invest in a really good binder. Now, the binder that I find works best for me is by the company Underworks, model 997. It goes from the shoulders all the way down past my hips. And as somebody who is both plus size and large chested, I find that this one is very comfortable. Once it's washed and worn a lot, the fabric becomes very comfortable and softer. Yes, it is a rougher fabric to begin with, but it's firm, it shapes me well, and it does the job to all give the silhouette that is more masculine instead of more feminine. Next, we're going to talk bodysuit. Now, many silicone pieces are sold by 18+ websites, so please be aware of that. There are many realistic prosthetics on these sites, so if that is shocking to you, you are now prepared. You can't say that I didn't warn you. The one that I purchased was from the company of Smithison. I really like the fact that the edges of the neck, the arms, and the waist all thin. What I mean by that is that the edges are not thick, chunky, hard pieces that without extra liquid latex blending, they can blend into the body how I need it to for my photo sessions or for my film sessions. If you find that it stands out too much, you can do things like put on a necklace around it, put a ribbon around your arms. The waistband is probably the most easy to hide because I just put on some low-slung jeans or low-slung pants and it gives the illusion of a nice trim waist. Getting into a silicone suit is very difficult. There are many techniques to do it. Being a plus size person, I found that for the first year, I really needed support from my husband to get in and out of the suit myself. If you're not careful with the suit, you can puncture holes into the thin edging. So as you're taking it on and off, as you're pulling to adjust yourself, because once you put it on, you will need to adjust your chest, the suit itself, pulling it lower or higher depending on how it would sit naturally if you were to have that sort of body. You can rip the thin edges, so just be aware. That said, the first chomp that I got out of it was literally a chomp. My cat walked up to it as it was air drying after I washed it, and he took a chomp out of the base. He's so cute. The second puncture was around the neck, and that was just general wear and tear. And I just got the third very big hole, again in the thinned area around the waistband. I just got it while filming this tutorial. But that's 2.5 years of a lot of wear and tear. For a great deal of 2023 and 2022, I was filming using that man suit at least once a week, between 4 to 6 hours per session of filming in that suit. Tips for putting on the man suit. First, you're going to put your hair into a wig cap if you have long hair of any kind. I recommend even doing it if you don't have long hair, just because the silicone can tug. Then you're going to take a cornstarch baby powder and powder the inside of your suit. Then, having it mostly inside out, I put on the head first, and then I put on the arms, and I roll the rest of the suit down my body, and I adjust it. You'll find that you will need to adjust throughout your session. You can do that by loosening the neck with one hand. That releases the suction, and then you can take the front of the suit and literally just lift and pull. To adjust any of my own body parts inside, I often will loosen, lift, reach not underneath but into the arm, and adjust from there. It's very awkward, and everybody's body shape is completely different, so you may find that you need to adjust according to your body. Now, let's get into, not the beard, the makeup.
This is a thirst trap. If you are seeing this, you are now obligated to drink a glass of water.
Once you put on your suit, finish your food. At this point, you want to eat and drink, especially if you are going to be doing a long session in the bodysuit, and if you are going to be wearing any sort of lace beard, because the lace beards do just what the real ones do, and they catch food and drink in them. This is a big investment piece for many people, especially the really nice ones. You don't want to have to be washing a lot of food and yuck out of this piece. You're also going to need a lot of energy just to power through, because the makeup prep alone takes a long time, as does the film session. So finish your food. Go get a big water bottle with a big straw, fill it up, and now get ready to do your makeup. Remember, do not do your makeup before you put on the bodysuit, because you may smear it. Guys, I don't have any affiliate links. I am not sponsored by anybody. Although if you'd like to sponsor me, I would love to put on your fake beards and your bodysuits and your makeup. Oh, and your armor. I'm not sponsored. So the makeup that I use is just your big store makeup. I use the e.l.f. brand and the NYX NYX brand most. There's a couple of schools of thought about contouring. Contouring, some people do before they put on their foundation. Some people do contouring after they put on their foundation. I do both. This time around, when I filmed this tutorial, I completely forgot to contour. But that's okay, because the majority of the contouring that I do now for this particular character is done around my beard. So I need to be mindful to not put any makeup where I will be laying in my beard. Many professional artists will first do the beard and then do the makeup. I chose to do the opposite because I don't want any of my powders falling into the beard. Again, see, the beard catches everything. Narrative. At this point, you are going to do your contouring. For masculine contouring, many people, not all people, do very chiseled looks. You will do your darker shades in the temples, around framing the forehead, under cheekbones, under the jaw. Again, jaw is only if you do not have a beard. And then, guys, it's just blend, 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 blend. Using an angle brush, I darken my eyebrows. It was also previously with angle brushes that I would begin to do my beard work. If you're just doing stubble, getting a filter for like turtle tank and cutting it into little pieces will get you the stubble look that you need. When you take that filter, spray it with your setting spray, dip it into dark eyeshadow, and you can just press and lift and press and lift and put on fake stubble. The scars I have developed over time. Now, these particular scars are meant to look old. Other people will do scars that are meant to look fresh. When you're doing a very fresh scar, you're going to have the blood blossoming at the center. So the center of your scar will look very red. An older scar will have a deeper look to it. The skin that develops and grows and heals will move outwards. New skin will be at the center. The new skin tends to be lighter. The old new skin will tend to be more red. And that's because that skin is often unprotected from the sun, and so will just naturally have a warmer hue to it. After I have applied my lighter tone in the middle, my warmer tones to the outside, I take liquid rigid collodion. Collodion? Collodion? Fields of collodion? Oh Lord, I need to look this up. Okay, I will take this liquid and in coats of about 2 to 3, I apply it to the very fleshy pieces of my face. It's not going to work well on your brow if you have a tauter brow. It's not going to work well on the ridge of your nose. Also mind what you're doing there. Make sure it does look like a scar and not like markings. You don't want to culturally appropriate. Do it on the fleshy parts of your cheek. I also have a scar by the lip. I do not apply the rigid collodion to the lip itself. I have very sensitive skin. Also, I don't believe it should be ingested. I didn't read the labels, but you know what? It's generally just a good idea. If it smells like that and if it has fumes that kind of sting your overly sensitive eyes, probably don't put it on your lips. Just saying. What the rigid collodion does is it takes that area of skin and it sort of presses it inward. Now, I did not do it a 3rd time for this tutorial, and I regret that because it doesn't showcase how nicely it does affect the skin. I've gone through so many different scars and so many different styles of scars, but I think this is the one that I like the most. Once eyebrows are darkened, then we get into doing the beard. I just want to reiterate, I am not an expert. I am learning as I go. Using spirit gum. What you do with the spirit gum is you dab on your face where you will be placing the beard, and then you dab on the beard around the top edges of the lace where it will meet your skin. Let both of those things get tacky. Then, with a big broad smile, and this is really important, really guys, you have to look a bit loony, with a big broad smile and with a pair of tweezers or any sort of tools, that way your fingers don't get tacky. Hold it, press it in place, hold and tap in place. This is going to guarantee that it won't be coming off. Why are you smiling like a lunatic? Well, if you are doing any sort of talking or lip syncing or mouth movements, or if you forgot to finish your muffin before you got into the beard, your mouth is going to move. And if you put the beard on while your face is relaxed, all these muscles are moving. So you have just put it onto a relaxed face, you moved your mouth, and then it rips away. So then you have a loose flapping beard. Doesn't work. I don't cover my entire chin and jaw with the glue. It's not necessary. Hair moves. And if it's a good lace beard, you don't need to do that. If it's a cheaper beard, again, I would stay around the edges, but you want the hair to move. I'm gonna sneeze. My first ever beard was the goatee style, which is very affordable and off of Amazon. Unfortunately, number 1, I didn't know what I was doing with my adhesive, and number 2, it was so small and flat that it really didn't read correctly on my face. Beards go down under the jaw. That's so important to note, even when you are drawing on your beards. It can go down about 2 finger lengths on many men and masculine presenting people. It goes and wraps around. And the cheaper options that are much more affordable lay flat. So if you don't fill in using excess hair and an adhesive, or using eyeliner, using an angled brush, it's not going to look realistic. It will look slapped on. The second beard that I purchased was also off of Amazon, and it was a standalone chin piece, and it was very long. When I trimmed down my second beard,
don't ask me how I did it, I just did it. It was hard.
I took a reusable Target bag, I put the handle over my head, and I put the large bag right in front of me to catch any of the hairs that dropped. Then I took those excess hairs, and using my adhesive, I laid those hairs in. The pieces that I trimmed that still had lace attached to them, I reformed into a mustache. This still was so very piecemeal, and it wasn't what I wanted for my final product. So what you see here is what I purchased and invested in from an Etsy store. Now you need to look through Etsy yourself. I'm so sorry to say that, but you just need to type in lace beard yourself. The reason I say that is because there's so many different styles. This particular one was from Turkey. I wanted something that was a darker hair, that wrapped around and fully pulled up, that had a nice thick mustache. When it arrived, I was alarmed. It was very bushy and I was kind of scared of it. The mustache was too wide for my mouth. Then I realized I could fix it myself. And guys, it's not as intimidating as you think it is. It is real hair, so I used some beard oil and beard balms that my husband had on hand, and I used a fine-tooth comb. And I was able to tame it very gently, going slow. So you would just go from the bottom of the curl, working your way into the top, very slowly, very gently, and you can actually restyle it pretty easy to look really nice on your own face. So don't be alarmed if you do order a beard off of Etsy and it comes to you really curly and really bushy. You don't just put it on your face as is and call it good. It needs to look natural. That's the point. That's why we're here. We want it to look natural. We want it to look good on you so that way you feel good. After I measured my mouth and trimmed the mustache, which was terrifying because it cost so much. And then I took the ends of my mustache and I swapped them. I pinned it to my wig head. I used that crochet hook. I reventilated it. I'm sorry I don't have any video of this. And the mustache now curls down and it looks as though it's part of the beard itself. When I am gluing on my mustache, again, I smile wide, but I'm not applying glue to my entire upper lip because again, I do a lot of mouth movements, and if my whole lip to my cheeks is covered with glue, it will constrict and expand and constrict and expand and then come off a lot faster. So I tend to glue just under the nose. With mustache in place, with beard in place, it's time to finish up the makeup. Now we're going to contour the man suit. I use my powder palette. I tend to just use the darker one and a blending brush. You want to look in your mirror if you're doing it realistic. You want to look in your camera if you know that you need to do punchier highlights and shadows. I have a weird flex, which is when I was a younger person, I was part of the crew for a production of The Midsummer Night's Dream, and I was able to contour male-presenting people's bodies and arms. So I'm very familiar with both drawing on fake abs as well as contouring what's already there. Once those are contoured, and don't forget the belly button, I then play with my lighting. Like I said, I have a floodlight at my 5 o'clock, and it does a great job of grazing that side of my body. I prefer this side of my body well lit. I like seeing this part of my body in shadow. You play with it how you want it. I like having a secondary light sometimes to bounce off and to highlight those shadows. This light is set to a lower light tone. Then once you play around with your lighting, you will find that it looks very natural. If you overly light yourself, it's going to flatten everything you've just done, and it can look very unrealistic. Not all the time, but many times. When you're taking off your beard, get a Q-tip or get a brush and load it up with your adhesive remover that correlates to the adhesive that you've used. So if you're using Pros-Aid, there is a specific remover just for Pros-Aid. You have to use that one, or you can really tear your skin. If you're using spirit gum, you can actually use rubbing alcohol. Once you've removed your beard, you want to get a very shallow dish, put the rubbing alcohol in it, gently put the top of the lace where you've put your adhesive in that, let it soak, and don't rub at it. The lace is the most delicate part of the beard. You want to take a Q-tip or a brush and again, just gently brush off any gunk or grime. When taking off the suit, I have in the past needed help again from my husband. We take it off first one arm at a time and then the head goes last. You may find that a different method works for you. This is what works for me. And so I roll the bottom, I pull it out over the elbow. The top muscle portion of the shoulder does get caught, so I unsuction that and pull my arm out, and that is my non-dominant arm. Then we do my dominant arm, same method, and then we're able to pull it out. Don't freak out. Trust me, you're going to get out of it. You are not stuck. Do not call the emergency services to cut you out of this super expensive piece. You are not stuck. It's so important to take care of this. Both of these are investments. Once you've taken off your suit, you can clean it using gentle detergents like Dawn dish soap. You can clean it with regular body soap. It will be stinky, but it does clean well. Some people choose to store it back in the box. I prefer to let mine air dry. I take a clean, dry towel and I will put it inside of the suit to absorb any moisture. And I also pull it out through the arms and I leave it there and I let it air dry. Don't let it be near your cats. They will try to chomp it. The rigid collodion does wash off very easily with some gentle face cleaner. Make sure to take care of all of your investment pieces. Make sure to take care of your skin. Make sure to take care of you. Make sure that you are hydrating through this. As they say, hydrate or die straight. So that is how I do it. If you have any comments, any questions, if you want further clarification, if you'd like to see something, drop it in the comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe. I don't know how much longer the clock place is going to be around, so it means a lot that you guys are here. So yeah, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. How do I do this? I don't know. What's a cool goodbye? Bye! Oh, Lord. Peace out? No. We'll figure it out. Bye, guys.